Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to study immunity, types of immunity and vaccination. So let's start. Immunity. Immunity is the body's ability to protect itself from disease and stay healthy by fighting off germs. The body's immune system produces antibodies to neutralize or destroy disease carrying organisms. So immunity basically protects the body against disease and pathogens or allergens or any sort of antigen which may cause the error in the normal functioning of human body. So what are the types of immunity? So basic types of immunity are innate immunity, adaptive immunity, and passive immunity. What is innate immunity? A general protection that humans are born with, such as skin and mucous membranes, that prevent harmful substances from entering the body. So, the external barriers or the external defense system or the first line of defense, which includes mucus, skin, saliva, and etc., can be categorized as the innate immunity, which prevents the pathogens, allergens, or other foreign particles to enter the human body. Adaptive immunity, also known as active immunity. This develops throughout life through exposure to disease or vaccines. So as long as you are exposed to pathogens, so you develop this kind of immunity, which is adaptive immunity, over the passage of time. With the memory cells of your immune system, they keep the memory of certain pathogens, and such antibodies are produced over time within the body. So that kind of immunity is known as the adaptive immunity. Next is the passive immunity, a short-term immunity that comes from another source, such as antibodies in a mother's breast milk. The immune system is made up of cells and organs that work together to identify and remove germs and other invaders. It also heals the damage caused by the intruders, which are the pathogens, which may be allergens, which may be foreign particles, which may be dust, pollens, aerosol sprays, chemicals, whatever. Whatever substance or living being or parasite which may cause the deterrence or hindrance in the normal functioning of the body is protected by immunity or immune system. Other responses which are not usually happening within the body or does not happen usually are the allergic responses or autoimmune responses. So basically they are due to the presence of immunity within your body, but when the immunity even malfunctions, then this response occurs. So it is allergic or autoimmune response. Allergic response which may cause allergic disease is the immune system overreacts to allergens such as food, medications, stinging insects. Common allergic diseases include hay fever, asthma, hives, and eczema. Autoimmune diseases, the immune system attacks normal components of the body. Examples include multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, and rheumatoid arthritis. So moving to the next slide. Here you can see various type of immunity in a flow chart. So this is the innate immunity which is present with even before the birth of the individual, and this type of immunity is specific and non-specific. So the skin, the ciliary, um, the cilia of the epithelium of lungs, the mucous membranes of the stomach, the lysozyme. The non-specific includes all type of the white blood cells. So this is eosinophil, neutrophils, natural killers, which are the T lymphocytes, dendritic cells, macrophages, and the mast cells. Here we have the adaptive or acquired immunity, which a human being with the passage of life either acquire it from the artificial sources such as vaccine or develop within the time, with the passage of time. So active includes the natural or the vaccination. Like natural, what could be the natural immunity, natural adaptive immunity? You get a disease, you get ill, and your body is successful while fighting with that particular disease, and now you are a healthy human being. Then your body stores the memory of the antibodies utilized to fight that particular pathogen. So after that, the body acquires that or adapt to that immunity against that particular pathogen which your body has become a victim. The other is the passive immunity. Passive may be from maternal immunity, and it can be the immunoglobulin treatment, such as the vaccine. And after when there is also mentioned here the herd immunity. So herd immunity, when lots of people in a particular area are exposed to a disease and they get well after a vaccination or medication, so they develop as immunity overall in that community, which can be referred as the herd immunity. So so what is vaccination or vaccine? A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides immunity to a specific infectious disease. So it is the artificial form of immunity which we expose our body. It contains a substance that stimulates the body's immune system to recognize and fight the pathogens, virus, bacteria, or other microorganisms that causes the disease without causing the disease itself. So this process can be referred as vaccination, and the substance which is used to induce this immune response or artificial source of providing our body immunity against a certain disease can be referred as vaccine. So what are the components of vaccine? Vaccines usually contain antigens, adjuvants, and preservatives. So antigen, these are the molecules from the pathogen, like proteins or inactivated versions of the pathogen that trigger an immune response. Adjuvants, these are substances that enhance the body's immune response to the antigen. And what are the preservatives? As apparent from the name, they preserve, they prevent the contamination and maintain vaccine stability. So basically, it stops the deterioration of the vaccine and provided a shelf life. How it works? Immune response. When a person receives a vaccine, their immune system recognizes the antigens are foreign invaders. It then produces antibodies and activates T cells to fight the pathogen. Memory. After the immune system encounters the antigen, it remembers how to recognize and fight the pathogen in the future. If the person is later exposed to the actual disease causing organism, their immune system can respond more rapidly and effectively. So once the antigen is introduced to the body, and then the antibodies are produced, but memory cells stores the particular information of the pathogen and related antibodies, and whenever the real pathogen which is harmful and way more disease causing is introduced to the body naturally produces the antibodies, and hence the disease is not caused, or rather is a person will recover from it. So next are the types of vaccination. There are several types of vaccination. The first one is inactivated killed vaccines. So it is the vaccines are made from the pathogens, viruses or bacteria that have been killed or inactivated so that they cannot cause disease. So killed or inactivated bacteria or viruses are utilized in such vaccines. The examples are polio vaccine or hepatitis A vaccine or rabies vaccine. Live attenuated vaccines. These vaccines contain live pathogens that been weakened, attenuated so that they cannot cause illness in healthy individuals but still stimulate an immune response. And examples of these are measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, yellow fever vaccine, varicella vaccine or chicken pox, excuse me, vaccine, oral polio vaccine, and the third one is the subunit recombinant polysaccharide and conjugate vaccines. These vaccines contain only specific pieces of the pathogen, like proteins or sugars, not the whole pathogen. So, only specific piece of a pathogen or specific component of the pathogen is introduced in the body to instigate or produce an immune response or antibodies. So, example of such vaccine is hepatitis B vaccine, human papilloma virus vaccine, which is HPV vaccine, and Haemophilus influenza type B vaccine, and pneumococcal vaccine. The next is toxoid vaccines. These vaccines contain inactivated toxins produced by bacteria rather than bacteria itself. So let's say we are not introducing a pathogen within the body, rather an antigen. The inactivated toxins stimulate the immune system to fight the toxin without causing disease. And example are diphtheria, tetanus vaccine. So messenger RNA vaccines क्या होती है? What are the messenger RNA vaccines? A new type of vaccine that uses messenger RNA to instruct cells to produce a protein similar to that found on the surface of the pathogen. So this type of vaccine includes the messenger RNA, rather the protein itself, messenger RNA, to produce similar response that a pathogen would produce. The immune system that then recognizes the protein as foreign and build an immune response. Such type of vaccine was produced during the COVID-19, that was produced by Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. DNA vaccines, these vaccines use DNA to instruct cells in the body to produce an antigen that triggers an immune response. DNA vaccines are still largely in the experimental phase. So, example as ZYCOVD, India's DNA vaccine for COVID-19. So it's India's particular version of a vaccine for the prevention of COVID virus. Then comes the viral vector vaccines. These vaccines use a harmless virus, often adenovirus, to deliver genetic material from the target pathogen into the body, prompting the immune system to recognize and respond to it. So examples are Johnson and Johnson COVID-19 vaccine, AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Each type of vaccine works in a different way but aims to trigger the protective immune response that can recognize and fight the disease causing pathogen if encountered in future. So this basically summarizes, this sentence summarizes the action, how the vaccine provides us immunity. So once it triggers the immune response, and then in future whenever you come over with the real pathogen, the body is exposed to the real pathogen or antigen, it will protect itself or will recover from the disease, will not face the intensity as a individual without vaccination would face. Now there are some quick facts about the history of the immunization or vaccination. So in 1796, Edward Jenner was the scientist who basically developed the first successful vaccine, and it was against the smallpox. And then there comes the Louis Pasteur that developed the vaccine for rabies, and following his work on germ theory and the development of pasteurization. Louis Pasteur is also known for the method of basically preservation of milk, which is referred as pasteurization. And similarly, it these are the facts. You may take a screenshot to remember them. The measles vaccine was developed in 1963, and then here you can see in 2000 rotavirus vaccine was discovered. Hepatitis B vaccine was in 1980s, was not discovered. It was invented. Okay, I correct myself. And after that, 2020 to 2021, we came across with the vaccine of COVID-19. So this was all about vaccines, immunity, and also the types of immunity. Thank you. Thank you very much.